In this podcast, I want to illustrate some of the concepts that we saw in the lecture on strings by putting together a couple of examples that illustrate various aspects of um, the methods of the string class. So this is the string class. It's in Java.lang. Um, so I don't need to actually import the definition for it in my class. And what I wanted to point out here is that there are a number of um, methods that are available. Of course, a number of different constructors that you can use, and then all of the different methods that are available. And there's several here that are at our disposal for doing string manipulations. So let's go ahead and create an example. I'm going to create a class. So I'm going to do that here. And what I'm going to do is call this thing first and last. First and last. And this does need to have a main method, and I'm going to put it in that it's automatically in that package. And so let me just go ahead and finish here. And so what I need to do is use the scanner class. So I'm going to import that. Java.util.scanner. And what we want to do with this is we're going to type in a line of text, and what we're going to do is print the first and the last word of the sentence in the string. So we're going to do things like look for the index of the first space, and then we'll look for the index of the last space, and then find the substrings based on that. So the first thing we need to do is instantiate our scanner object. Do that with this scanner system.in. And I'm going to query the user for a sentence. Enter a sentence. Actually, let me put a colon in here in a space. And then we're going to use the next line method of the scanner class to essentially read the input to get that full string. So let me increase the size of our viewing window and create an object that is based on what's going on here. I seem to have been swapped out. I have no response. Oh. Okay. It's back. Okay, so keyboard dot next line. So this is going to read whatever I type in the full line all the way up through the carriage return. So in that line then what I want to do is two things. First I want to find the first word, and then I'm going to find the last word, and then I will print both. Okay, so let's first find the first word. What I need is the index for the first space. This is line dot index of, and then I'm going to have it look for that first space. We will have a similar thing for finding the last word, so let me just do a copy and paste of this. And I'm going to call this last space. And we're going to be looking for the last index of, so last index of that space. Okay, so for the first word I want to do a substring all the way up to that first space. So I'm just going to do first, we create an object called first word, and I'm going to take that line and do a substring from 0 to first space. Okay, so that gives me the first word. We do a similar thing for the last word, so string last word equals line dot substring, and this is going to go from last space to the end. So there is actually a version of the string class where I can do a substring. Let's find that substring here. So it gives me the beginning index and it goes to the end of the word. And actually, let's go to this description. Returns a new string that is substring of this string, begins with the character that is specified at the index and extends to the end of the string. So that's what we're going to do. So it goes to from last space all the way to the end of the string. Okay, so now I have my two words and I'm going to print both. So system.out.println first word equals first word, and println last word equals last word. Okay, so that should be it. Go ahead and run it. So enter a sentence. This is my sentence. And actually, if I include, well, yeah, it's good enough. So the first word in this is this, and the last word in this is sentence. So anyway, so that's the this here we've used the string class then to get the first word and the last word, we're using the index and the substring and so forth. So let's do another example. This time let's do an example where we change the blanks. We're going to remove any blanks. We'll trim the blanks from the end of the word, from the end of the sentence. And let's see, we will let's see, drop any blanks, and we'll change the first word to all uppercase, and then print out the word. So let's create a new class. So new class, and I'm going to call this change first. We're going to use the scanner class again, so import java.util.scanner, and so we will do the similar thing that we did before, getting the first word. So we need to get the word, get the sentence, get the first word, change the sentence. And actually we'll get the sentence, and then we'll also clean up the sentence. So we'll remove trailing white space. Alright, so we can do the same thing that we did here for getting the word and getting the first word. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy and paste this. This is, of course, very sketchy kind of approach to programming, right? To just do a bunch of copy and paste, but I think that we get the idea of what actually has to happen here. It's exactly the same as it was before. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that into the code. I do need to clean up the sentence though, so I'm going to use the trim operation to do this. So I'm going to say that line is equal to line.trim. What trim is going to do then is get rid of all the trailing white space in the string. Now what we need to do next is we need to change this first word to all uppercase. So I'm going to do this first word equals first word to uppercase. Now, one of the things I want to point out here is when we do something like line equals line.trim or first word equals first word dot to uppercase, that we generate garbage here because we are replacing that. So this this line object is pointing to whatever object. This line reference is pointing to whatever object was created when we read it in with the next line. And then the next thing that we're doing is we're reassigning this object or this reference to point to a new object. This is object that's created by trimming this line. So technically we're generating some garbage. Fortunately the garbage collector is going to grab that garbage for us. There probably are other ways that you would want to do something like this if you're using other programming languages, but in Java this is perfectly fine because of the garbage collector. If I were doing this in C++, for instance, or in Objective-C, I would not do it this way because of the garbage that would be generated. I would have to first make sure that I've freed up the memory before I did this particular statement. Okay, so we've gotten our line, we've cleaned it up with trim, we've converted the first word to uppercase, and now I'm going to, now that I've changed the sentence, I'm going to output this new string. So I have I'm going to do a new line. I'm going to call this first word plus line plus line.substring. So going from that first space on, I'm going to get the rest of the sentence, build this new line, and now I'm going to print it. System.out.println new line. And actually, let me put some text in here. Changed line is okay. So we're done with that, and let me go ahead and compile and run. Enter sentence. This is my sentence. And I'm going to put a bunch of spaces at the end of this. And you'll see here that it's changed this thing. This is my sentence. Probably not a way that we can actually observe the fact that we have all this white space on here, but rest assured that that's actually gone. Actually, there is a way to do this. Let's go here and do a system.out.println line length equals, and then we'll do line.length, and then we'll do this again here to change line to new line. Okay, so I'm going to save it and run. Enter a sentence. this is a sentence. This is my sentence. Put a bunch of spaces in there, tabs. Tells me that the line length is 37 the first time. I've changed it now. I've trimmed it, and this is my sentence. You see the first word is changed, and now the line length is 20. So anyway, so that's the two examples I wanted to show you of the string class. Obviously, there's a lot of other functions that we could be using that are methods that are part of this class. So anyway, that concludes this episode.